What's going on, America, and welcome after Facebook trouble of some kind to Dear America Live, the very first episode. If you are watching this video, I need you all to do me a huge favor right now and hit the share button. The more you share, the more people come in. We have a lot to talk about. One of them being this very first episode is sponsored by and brought to you by Liberty University. We said last week that we have a huge partnership announcement, and that partnership is with Liberty. Our partnership with them, if you follow the link in the caption above, you will get your application fee absolutely waived. Liberty University is an amazing university. I went there during my military service. They are military, LEO, first responder friendly. Go now and hit the share button because there's so much to talk about, especially with this horrible George Floyd incident in Minneapolis. Jake is here.
I am here.
Having a panic attack.
Jake is having a panic attack. But Alyssa is also here. Alyssa.
Hey.
And we have Danny Merritt, the man, the myth, the legend, joining us all the way from Georgia. Danny flew in. So you want to talk about privilege? There it is. Danny flew in.
From Georgia.
He is a congressional candidate in Georgia, and we need him to win. Danny, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
All right. So there is 1.8 thousand people watching right now. I need every single one of you to do us a favor and hit the share button right now. The more you share, the more people come in. We have a lot to talk about. So let's get into the big thing that needs to be discussed right now, and that is George Floyd.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so I just did a social media video about this morning. And Danny, I really want to talk to you about it because a lot of people may not know that you are an officer in an MP unit, now in the reserves or now in the Guard.
Reserves, yep.
Reserves.
Yep.
And you've been to Iraq doing this very thing, police work. So 2.2 thousand people are watching right now. Hit the share button. This is very important. America needs to hear this. To me, I saw the video.
Sure.
And the video was horrifically disturbing. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine today who is black. And I said, you know, man, the biggest thing that stood out to me about that video, no matter what side of the fence you stand on, there was something about that video that felt horrible. And I am the most pro-police guy I know.
Absolutely.
I always give our officers the benefit of the doubt. But in that video, to me, Danny, and I want your expertise, not only from the military, 2.7 thousand people are watching. Hit the share button right now. Danny Merritt is an MP. He's an officer. He's a congressional candidate. This is insight you need to hear. Danny, to me, from a military standpoint, we have detainee training. We have how to deal with hostility in combatants. It seemed to me in that video that the threat had been neutralized already. What do you think?
I agree with you 100%. I mean, we don't treat detainees that way. We certainly don't treat American citizens that way.
Right.
You know, I'm a military police officer by trade. I've been in the Army for 18 years now in the reserves. You know, what I saw in that video is so unfortunate, Graham, because it really puts a stain on the rest of the law enforcement officers that do the right thing. They get up. They got a hard job to do every single day. They just want to go home to their family. But from what I saw in that video, justice needs to come for that man. That was horrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So 3.1 thousand people are in right now. Hit the share button, guys, because this is the take and the perspective that we really need to talk about. You have a lot of people, to play devil's advocate, okay? A lot of people will say, well, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's wait till all the facts come out. And normally, to be completely transparent, I'm one of those people.
Right.
A lot of people will say, well, you know, maybe he was resisting. Maybe he attacked the police.
And maybe, but still how he responded was not, regardless of if he assaulted the police.
To me, it doesn't matter if he pulled a knife on the police. Before that 10-minute video that has been seen around the world, it doesn't matter what George Floyd may or may not have done. By the time that video turned on, we saw 10 minutes of a man who was detained.
Correct.
On his belly, handcuffed, helpless, even if the police officer was one-on-one, he had the advantage at that point.
Right.
That there was a dominance that was established, and any detainee, any military will tell you that is the ultimate goal, to establish the dominant posture in the situation, right? I mean,
Right.
And so I can't wrap my brain around the thought process that was putting your knee on the neck of a man and then keeping it there.
And it wasn't
When
just
he
it
was
wasn't
pleading with you to stop.
It wasn't just him. They had other officers that will literally just watch this go down,
Right.
and that killed me. That
so
killed me.
hard.
Yeah, so I want to present this to you guys because I've already given my thoughts on it. 3.5 thousand people are watching. Do us a favor, guys. Hit the share button. The more you share, the more people see this video. And this is a discussion that needs to be had about this situation. At what point do we as citizens have a responsibility to step in when wrong is wrong? Now, I will preface this with saying I understand that these were police officers. I understand that they had guns where probably all of the people watching did not, which again, one of my reasons for Second Amendment, but you know, another discussion for another day. I am not saying to disrespect the police and be aggressive toward police. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there were a lot of people that watched this for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Even somebody going up to the police officer would have gotten that police officer up. You wouldn't have even had to have charged that police officer. You simply could have moved forward and it would have changed the dynamic of that situation. That's what a lot of people also don't understand. A simple change in posture would have changed that police officer's position on his neck. It just would have.
Sure.
Because he would have gotten up. Because he would have thought to himself, well, what's going on here? What's happening? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you have to weigh the consequences. So recording it and pleading with the officer is definitely a good first step, right? Like, he can't breathe, get off of him, you know, blah, 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 blah. And that's how justice will be served. The video was taken, right?
Yeah.
At what point, next thing you know, the guy's motionless. Well, then do you jump in and start attacking the cop at that point? Like, it's just a tough, especially seeing a guy get murdered right in front of you. Like, for a lot of people, that would just traumatize them, shock them.
And they were pleading with him.
Yeah, they
I
were.
mean, they were pleading.
No,
stop, stop.
I'm not saying that they weren't trying
Yeah.
to say something to the cop. Danny, you're running for Congress.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the hard questions that you're going to have to answer in that regard. As a normal citizen, at what point do we have the authority as citizens to be, you know, this is wrong. A man's life is in danger right there.
It's that imaginary line, Graham. You know, people were saying the right things, they were screaming the right things. It's, do you cross that line and go physical? I could tell you, it's hard to kind of Monday morning quarterback. I can't see myself not physically getting in between the two, not physically, you know, assaulting anybody, but you know, like a referee in a UFC fight, you got to step in.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the cool things about this new live show is we're going to be able to see what you're saying. So comment. Let us know what you think about that. What do you think about what is the point where normal citizens need to do something to stop? Because I said this in the video today. There comes a point where you got to put the phone down. You've got to. You've got to put the phone down, and you just have to act. So let's see what they're saying.
Like an unconstitutional thing, right? So when they, you know, make an unconstitutional gun grab kind of law, we go out and we defy that unconstitutional law, right? So I guess knowing when the police officer crossed that constitutional line, I guess that would be the time to jump in.
So there's a lot of people saying right now, they're saying things like the demeanor of the officer in general. He had his knee on his neck, but also his hands in his pockets.
Yeah.
There's somebody said, why were the officers not suspended or fired? So the officers have been fired.
Yeah, they have.
Okay. Now what needs to happen next is the DA, the district attorney, needs to go after these officers. Let's see. Let's Let's read here. Wow, guys, I appreciate your comment. It's hard to keep up. Let's see. I think there are many cases there is more to the story. However, in this case, I don't think it even matters. I am always team blue, but these cops are murderers. Doesn't make all cops bad people. That's a very good point.
Right.
Okay.
But at the same time, just because you have a badge, it doesn't, you don't get a free pass.
You're not above
Correct.
the
All
law.
right, so 3.6 thousand people are watching. Ladies and gentlemen, do us a favor. Hit the share button right now. The more you share, the more people hear this dialogue that needs to be had. The term officer is something that you earn, all right? It's not a title.
Well, you're supposed to serve and protect.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So-
You were doing
protect.
neither.
yeah, and so these officers, in my opinion, don't deserve to be called officers anymore. These
Absolutely not.
people who happen to hold a job completely and utterly abandoned their responsibility as police officers, and so it's a horrible thing. It's terrible, but what's also bad is that it happened in this climate in which we find ourselves.
Yeah.
So, Danny, what's your thoughts on right now? There's protests going on in Minneapolis, and some of them have already turned aggressive and violent.
Sure.
What do you think is the appropriate level of response from citizens in this?
I mean, protesting is absolutely, it's an effective way to get your message across as long as it stays nonviolent. So I agree with the protesting. We just got over just a few weeks ago Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was more to that story.
Yes.
This is a complete different situation. And
Agreed.
what I was thinking a second ago is take the uniform off the police officer for 1 second and be in that same scenario.
Yeah.
How many people would just sit there and do nothing?
Right.
I don't know any.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was the uniform. It was
Yeah,
the
it's the
badge.
uniform.
They have so much power, and we look up to them so many times, and there's always a bad apple that ruins it for the rest. And
Yeah.
that hurts my feelings because I have so many buddies who are in law enforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do
Federal
too.
law
Good
enforcement.
people, man.
Great people.
And
people.
I said on my Instagram, there's the ones I have talked to that we're close to, they're sick to their stomachs.
Yeah.
Because then they say, like, these are not police officers.
No, horrifying. I couldn't even make it through.
I couldn't even. I
The
had a
first time
very
I
hard
couldn't-
time.
It's hard to
watching it.
watch.
It's very hard to
It
watch.
really is. It's hard to watch. And so, as it stands right now, the officers have been fired. But I think that we all are in agreement here with most of the rest of America that charges need to be brought up to these officers. These people. Because they're not officers anymore. These people. Go ahead.
I saw something interesting. So 2 pastors, and I won't call them out, who have mega churches, have written in response to this saying, justice needs to be served. And I found it interesting because on a lot of their comment feeds, it was saying, like, we need to discuss love and inspire and unite. And it really frustrated me because I was thinking I was proud of these pastors for speaking truth and knowing that God is also a God of justice. Instead of just, I thought it was interesting that a lot of people were also commenting on, well, we shouldn't talk about this. And I'm going the opposite, saying, no, I feel like we should talk about this.
Yeah. So 3.4 thousand people are watching. Hit the share button because we just got a really interesting comment that I think we need to talk about. 3.4 thousand people. Hit the share button right now because this is questions or statements from people like all of us, and this is what other people are thinking, and we want to address this accordingly. This comment said, good cops are not speaking up about it, and that's the problem. So I will say yes and no, okay? And the reason that I say yes, I think we do need law enforcement officials to say something about this. That's not the way we're trained. That's not the way it's supposed to happen. That's not the way it's supposed to go down. However, a lot of people don't realize that most police officers that work for departments or sheriff offices or the state police have very, very, very strict guidelines for what they can say and what they can't say. You saw that guy,
The ranger.
that was a cop in Seattle, I believe it was, where he was talking about basically police need to weigh their actions against the Constitution and rights of citizens. He's fired.
Yeah.
Done.
Did he get fired?
Yeah, he got fired because at the end of the day, he broke the social media policy of that job.
Which he signed.
And so again, you got to put yourself in other people's shoes to an extent, okay? Most police officers are vastly underpaid, Danny. I hope that's one thing that you guys will want to change down there in the districts that you represent as well. These guys can't afford to lose their jobs because they have families to feed. Danny, your thoughts?
I agree, especially about the part about these guys being underpaid. I mean, it's a tough job. They have to deal with the absolute worst of humanity on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I just recently, on the campaign trail, did a ride-along with the Camden or Kingsland Police Department, and it was a wonderful day to really go through
and see what they deal
on
with.
an average day, what they go through. And I'll tell you what, it changed me.
And then you add in this hostile environment that they find themselves in now, and that's why we have nothing but the greatest of respect for them.
And it's a tough job. They don't have a VA for police officers.
Yeah.
They don't have a place where they can go and deal with that. But what's great about your platform, Graham, is the news cycle picks this up for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's off to the next story.
Yeah.
You're spending quality time on a topic that people really care about, and they want to hear what ordinary folks have to say about it.
Yep.
So there's a lot of people commenting that this is unjustified murder, and I agree. So 3.4 thousand people watching. Hit the share button. I want to talk really quick about an area that honestly we don't have a lot of expertise in, but we need to talk about it. Is the culture that we find ourselves in now.
Yeah.
There are so many Americans that are trying to prove that there is no racial divide in the police department, that racism is not a predominant issue in this country. Are there bad police officers? Yes. Are there bad military members?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely there are.
Are there bad social workers? Are there bad teachers?
Are
there
there racist people in America? Yes. Yeah. Sadly, there are still racist people in America, but it's not the majority. And to me, far underneath the obvious atrocity and senseless loss that was George Floyd's life, underneath that is, man, we've been fighting this fight for a long time, and this video just makes it so hard. It makes it so hard to try to mend this divide that seems to be happening.
And that's what David Harris Jr. did that video, which I shared, because if you don't know David Harris Jr., he is African American. He was just crying. Yeah. And he was saying, do you know how much harder this makes it for us when we're trying to unite, and then these things keep happening?
Yeah. All right, so let's move on. There's 3.2 thousand people watching. Hit the share button. Jake, who's our first sponsor today?
Our first sponsor is Simply Safe.
So official.
Yeah. Which, they've been with us for a while. We really
like so
Simply Safe.
Let's give a little shout out to Simply Safe, and I'm going to read it from the computer here. What's the number one sign of a bad home security system? A home security system that's not so complicated you never use it. This is exactly the type of security system Simply Safe has spent a decade fighting against. They believe that simple is safer, and it's exactly why Simply Safe is the home security for right now, when feeling safe at home has never been more important. Simply Safe was designed to be easy to use with protecting your whole home 24/7. No technician or salesperson has to come and disrupt your house. You don't need to pay any outrageous monthly fees or sign a 2-year contract. I'm pretty dumb, and I figured out how to set it up. It's pretty easy. If I can do it, anybody can.
True story.
Head over to simplysafe.com/DearAmerica and get free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's simplysafe.com/DearAmerica to make sure they know that our show sent you. All right, let's move on to our next topic. First of all, Jake, you want to pop open a Kill Cliff with us, recovery here.
I kept looking at it. I was like, when can I open that?
We want to give a shout out to Kill Cliff. They're also huge sponsors, huge supporter of our show. They do such amazing things. If you guys work out or you guys need energy, or some of you suffer from joint pains and all that other kind of stuff, they have CBD drinks, they have recovery drinks, they have energy drinks. It's a great company. They support the Navy SEAL Foundation. Amazing guys at Kill Cliff. Go to killcliff.com
and
today.
Best tasting energy drink.
I think
I've
best
ever had.
tasting energy drinks. All right, let's move to Kathy Griffin. Is in the news again today.
Shocking.
Ladies and gentlemen, comment below and let us know what you think about Kathy Griffin's newest, completely rational and sane thing that she just did.
Yeah.
So a couple years ago, you may remember that Kathy Griffin, being the adult and the A-list celebrity that she is, had an issue or a beef with the president. So she posted a very rational photo of her holding a decapitated, bloody head of Donald Trump.
She's so edgy.
Yeah, naturally the world was a little about that. Well, just yesterday, Danny, I'm going to get your comments first.
Right.
Just yesterday, Kathy Griffin does a tweet, and it says in the tweet, Donald Trump needs to take a syringe of air and inject himself, and that would kill you, okay? So Kathy Griffin literally threatens and wishes death actively upon the President of the United States on Twitter. Danny, your thoughts?
You want to talk about ratings? Kathy Griffin, I mean, she is obviously just starving for attention.
I agree.
And I think she's just trying to use the president as a way to get back into her, C-list celebrity
She
status.
has no friends.
So, I mean, I think it's a, ridiculous thing to say. I can't imagine that anybody on the right would ever get away with saying something like that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Some kind of weird ploy.
No.
that it could serve.
So
Be in jail.
I'm just sitting
Yeah.
here and I'm thinking about what would have happened if a right-winged person had said a very similar thing about a previous president. I wonder what
it would not have been good.
Wonder what it would have been like. But Kathy Griffin's horrific tweet leads me into the real subject that I want to talk about. Okay, President Trump is under attack from Twitter right now. Okay, Twitter is now fact-checking the president, and they're also deleting comments from conservative people that contain certain words, like anything to do with the Chinese Communist Party, anything to do against Joe Biden, anything to do with this whole Obamagate Flynn scandal, anything to do with Hunter Biden. Twitter is actively going out and putting fact checks and or deleting these comments. But Kathy Griffin can tweet death to
Whatever
the president.
she wants.
No big deal. Is free speech under attack? Yeah. So you can see a lot of the president's tweets here. Kathy Griffin has deleted her tweet. Twitter didn't delete it. She deleted it.
Good.
But there's one. Can you see the one that Donald Trump just did, Jake, that's got the fact check stuff on it? Can you find that and show everybody if they haven't seen it? Anyway, Danny.
Yes.
Is free speech under attack if it's on a social media platform?
1,000% it is under attack. I remember when I first started running for Congress, I went from 0 to 20,000 Twitter followers in like a second. And I tell you what, Twitter, as soon as they figured out I was Republican, they shut me down completely.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it took a lot to get them to turn it back on, and they gave me no excuse.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'll tell you what, it is absolutely, it is going to be a huge threat to this upcoming election. People talk about wanting to be scared of Russia. Be scared of Twitter.
Yeah.
No, don't be scared of Russia. Be scared of Twitter and Facebook and the algorithms that they use to
Well, it can be
censor.
argued it's the same people at this point.
Well,
Right.
yeah, for
China
sure.
with Twitter, yeah, it can be argued it's the same folks.
Right. So, I mean, I think that this is something that we need congressional oversight on.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
it is absolutely something that keeps me up at night sometimes because it can change an election.
Yeah.
It really can.
Absolutely.
Well, Candace Owens has a really good argument. She's suing Facebook at the moment. And basically the biggest argument with Facebook, with Instagram, with Twitter, with all these places is they're either and give me the definition, they're either a technology, okay, which a technology that you've presented out into the world, you can't govern that. You
Right.
can't govern how people use
Right.
a technology that you have made available and made billions of dollars off of. You can't govern how people use that. And that's the biggest argument. Are these technologies or are they privately owned I don't know, things that you have say-so over what goes on and what doesn't?
Yeah, they're privately owned companies, so we're always saying, get government out of the private industry. Don't tell us how to regulate our companies. So the problem is we either make them like a government utility and have the government run these things, then it could be totally unbiased and all that, but that'll lead to corruption too.
But
So-
do you believe that their problems with what conservatives are tweeting are not publicly and government related?
Well, think about it like this as a radio station. Let's just say you pay an ad for a radio station and you're going to get a 60 square mile outreach.
Sure.
I just spilled
Now-
Killcliff all over. It's only millions of people. No big deal. Wow.
Just wipe it
I'm
off.
sorry,
Just wipe
Danny.
it off,
Just
baby.
That's cool.
continue with this.
Well,
Switch the camera, Jason.
So think about this. If you're a Republican and you buy an ad at a radio station and you're going to get a 60-mile radius, but if you're a liberal and you buy the same ad, you're going to get 150
Correct.
miles.
Oh,
That's
geez.
basically what they're doing on social media.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
it
that,
is.
and you know, they need to be treated the same.
I agree.
So and I think that's why it's such a threat, and that's why we really need to monitor these guys.
I
Yeah.
agree. And they clearly are picking because of your videos. I mean, we see it every day. Which
Oh,
ones
yeah.
they
They
want
love
to
Graham.
push,
They love
and
Graham.
which ones they literally don't push at all.
Yeah.
And then someone else who may not even have as many views, they push it so hard.
Right.
I mean, it's insane.
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's like gotten to such a monopoly level where, you know, traditionally we would say, well, stop shopping there. You know, show with your dollars that you don't support them until change is made or another competitor comes up. But they are such a high level now, like Amazon, a different company like Amazon, Google, Twitter. They're such monopolies that it's hard to compete at all.
Yeah.
You know, start a little social media company. Good luck. But then what point do you allow the government to come into a privately owned business and regulate it?
Well, I think, again, we either have free speech or we don't. And I'm a very constitutionally based guy in this regard. You can't be emotional about the Constitution. The Constitution is not emotional. The Constitutional is literally very black and white. You got to hold these actions up against the Constitution. Is Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, are they technologies that are open to the world, or is it someone's private property that they can dictate how you say or do it? I understand separating the government and private property and all this other kind of stuff, but at the same time, I think the only reason they're having problems with this stuff is because of government politics in general. And I'll tell you, just from our own personal standpoint, a lot of our business capital comes from video monetization. That's not an unknown thing, right? Like we do millions of videos, views a month. Obviously, we make money off of those videos. I mean, that's kind of just how it works. And we can watch, and we can literally predict it without fail, that anything about Joe Biden, anything that we say about Joe Biden, demonetized, not available for ads.
Which also means, because people don't know, that it doesn't get pushed farther, too.
Yeah. Anything anti-abortion, automatic, no monetization. Anything pro-gun, automatic, no monetization. Anything anti-staying at home for months and tanking the economy,
Yeah.
boom, automatic, no monetization. I'm curious if I was pro-Joe Biden, or if I was anti-gun, or if I was pro-choice and I was pro-staying at home, I wonder how much money we would make.
You'd be rich.
Well, and you got the guy at Twitter, Yoel Roth, who's the head of integrity.
Yes, thank you. I want to talk about that.
He's the one who makes sure all the tweets have integrity and blah, blah, blah. And you look at his past, he's completely anti-Trump. He has some weird stuff in his past. So
But again, it's one man's opinion on what should and shouldn't go. And you get to decide for all of us what we get to see and what we don't get to see. Like, we can't sift through information and decide for ourselves.
So if you haven't looked into this guy that is supposed to go
Unbiased.
through and
Unbiased.
decide whether or not things are true or not, okay? Here's just 4 tweets from him in the past. This was November 8th, 2016. Quite a significant date if you're a conservative. He wrote, "I'm just saying, we flew over those states that voted for a racist tangerine for a reason."
Tangerine.
Okay? All right, here you go. This is January 22nd, 2017. Also really close to a significant date there. Yes, that person in the pink hat is clearly a bigger threat to your brand of feminism than actual Nazis in the White House.
Whoa.
Referring to the president and his family as Nazis. All right.
His tweets can slide.
Integrity.
Here we go. Today on Meet the Press, we're speaking with Joseph Goebbels about the first 100 days. What I hear whenever Kellyanne is on the news, what?
Kellyanne was on this morning talking about him.
Oh, okay. All right. I get it now. That one's not as aggressive. All right. Here you go. This is a good one. Old Mitch McConnell, man. Old Mitch McConnell. All right, Mitch McConnell. Here we go.
Turtle.
How does a personality-free bag of farts like
no.
Mitch McConnell actually win elections?
And this is the guy deciding.
This
what
is the
tweets get to go through.
unbiased. This is the unbiased person deciding what needs to be fact
But you know
checked
what's sad
and
is
what
it
is
doesn't
true.
shock me at all.
Well, he sets
Not
up
at all.
the whole
Not at all.
infrastructure of like how they review all tweets and everything.
Yeah.
It's
All
not
right.
like he one by one does it.
All right. So let's
does
move
too.
on to our next sponsor here. Who's next, Jake? We
Our
the people.
next sponsor is We the People
We
Holsters.
the people holsters. All right, guys. So I am super pro Second Amendment. You guys know this. If you followed me at all, you know that I am a firm believer in carrying constitutionally law-abiding, God-fearing rights as Americans. So,
Dare you?
all right, so record numbers of people are buying guns and ammunition for the first time. If you are one of them, please be safe and please holster that new handgun with We the People holsters. Starting at just $39, We the People holsters are custom designed to fit your firearm perfectly and make it right here in America. They have hundreds of options to choose from. You can have the Constitution, Blue Lives Matter. You can have my face on it. They
Heck
even have
yeah.
like my face on
Why
the thing.
not?
Why not at this point? Just do it. All right, now is the time to
I'm going
support.
online now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now is the time to support American companies. Go to wethepeopleholsters.com/Graham to get yours. Every holster ships free and comes with a lifetime guarantee. Get an additional $10 off with the offer code GRAHAM. Go to wethepeopleholsters.com/Graham. That's wethepeopleholsters.com/Graham. Offer code Graham.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to talk about a clip, and this is actually going to be our Liberty moment.
Oh, okay.
Brought to you by Liberty University. Make
Yeah.
sure to go check Liberty University out. Those of you who may not know, I went to Liberty. And if you've ever thought about getting your college degree while you're working or while you're doing it at home, click the link in the caption above.
And they also have that homeschool, so it shows.
Yeah,
that
if
everyone
you're
is
wanting to
starting
homeschool your
now.
kids with all this craziness, click the
They
link
have
in the
that
caption
too.
above. They have that too. So the Liberty moment I want to talk to you guys about. Have you guys seen the video of the guy reporting the people not wearing masks out at the beach, and then that random guy walks by? I think he was in a Green Bay Packers shirt.
Oh, I thought it was the Grim Reaper guy.
No. I'm
Different
talking about,
one?
I think it was a Green Bay
That
Packers
sounds
shirt.
amazing.
This
Oh,
guy
okay.
comes by and he's like, yeah, your cameraman's not even wearing a mask.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I saw
Like
that.
just completely
Oh.
Got him.
Just got him.
Oh.
So we were having this discussion online at Liberty, and one of the cool things in Liberty is you get to have these discussion things, and you get to talk to other people across the country from all makes of life. You get to have discussions, and the discussion was, what is freedom? What does it really mean? Right? And this has been one of the biggest debates for COVID-19 in this pandemic. Which one is actual freedom and which one holds priority?
Yeah.
The freedom to go out and do what we want, or the freedom to keep people from doing things and actions that could lead to your death? Which one is it? And so my opinion, which is not always well received, I will say, my opinion is true freedom is you have the freedom to stay home.
Right.
Absolutely.
You have the freedom to not go to work if you don't want to. You have the freedom to make that decision. But to tell somebody they don't have the freedom because your freedom's more important, that's not freedom. And it was really cool to see all the answers from people at Liberty Online, to see people commenting back and forth and hearing different perspectives. I don't agree with all the perspectives, but that's one thing that's really awesome about this. And so I'd encourage everybody, myself included, I'm always learning, guys. I'm always learning. Check out Liberty University. Click the link in the caption above. If you've ever thought about going back after your degree, Liberty University is an amazing Christian university. Go check it out. Danny, what do you think? What do you think about freedom?
Well, I'll tell you what I think about Liberty University. Awesome. I'll tell you what, I'm a small business owner, and if I saw that on somebody's resume, it would certainly be an added bonus to see that somebody
Very
had gone
cool.
to a university like that. But anyway, what was the other question?
Yeah,
Freedom. How do you feel about it?
So as a congressional candidate,
Yeah.
okay, what is your opinion as far as this pandemic goes? Which one is actual freedom in your opinion?
Freedom is the ability to go to work and provide for your family, for your kids. Freedom is the ability to have a wonderful life and to make decisions on your own.
Right.
Yeah.
People talk about wanting everybody to stay inside and to just buckle up and hold on. But most Americans, and you know this, most Americans can't afford to sit inside for 30 to 45 days. You know, and for all the restaurants and all the hair salons and all the folks that not necessarily live paycheck to paycheck, but have to provide means for their family, they do not have the ability to wait. So I think we are a special breed of people. We are not built to be inside. And, you know, we need to be able to make big boy decisions for ourselves and our family, and that means we need to open up.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree. We've been very blessed here because we own this building. All right. Hit the share button right this second. All right. If you're watching this, do us a huge favor. This is our first episode. Hit the share button. And also, comment below what you think about our final topic for this episode.
Wait, can I interject something?
Of course,
Did
babe.
you see Governor Northam, though, about the face mask? He's mandating now everyone to wear
Oh,
mask
yeah.
inside, but he was the one
Old red coat
he
Ralph.
was the one that was caught on the beach not wearing a mask, and there's pictures of him
Do what
not
I
wearing
say,
a mask.
not what I do.
My-
Do
Come
what I say.
on.
My thing about the mask is like, if they work, why do I need to wear one if you're wearing one?
Yeah.
It's like you put a mask on. It's
They
like,
don't. They
you're-
don't work. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. All right. Final topic for this inaugural episode of Dear America Live. Comment below and let me know what you think about this. Let's talk about blackface for a moment. All right. Jimmy Fallon has found himself in the newest attack of cancel culture. Can we pull up a picture of Jimmy Fallon in the blackface?
Yes.
The skit in question, if you will. If you don't know what we're talking about, somebody figured out that a skit that Jimmy Fallon did back in 2000,
It's like 20 years ago.
20 years
years ago. All right, now NBC is relaunching the episodes, but they cut this skit out. And the picture is, it'll pop up here in just a second. The picture is of Jimmy Fallon imitating Chris Rock. Okay?
There it
and
is.
he does a really good job. I will say that he was very impressive as this. But now, 20 years later, people know so much better that apparently that is racist to do such a thing. Yeah, there he is right there. You guys can see
This
him.
isn't funny.
Yeah, but look, I mean, he looks like Chris Rock.
He really does.
And, you know.
His voice is dead on.
Oh my gosh,
too.
it's hilarious.
So funny.
And so what I kind of want to talk about for a second is the craziness that is this stuff. Jimmy Fallon's not the only person that has done this. All right, it's comedy sketch. In fact, there's an old Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor movie. I can't remember what it's called, but Richard Pryor is literally standing there talking Gene Wilder how to put blackface on in the bathroom. This was back in like the late 70s, early 80s. People have been doing this stuff. Joy Behar has been found out
Yeah,
to do
from The View.
blackface. Jimmy Kimmel.
Silver Streak. Is that what it was called?
I
I don't
think so.
know. It's Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
Yeah,
so
I
if
think
you can
so.
find a picture of that, that'd be great. Jimmy Kimmel impersonated Karl Malone in blackface. Sarah Silverman.
What about the one of the skits from the comedian who pretended to be in the KKK?
Oh, black white supremacist Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
That's right.
Dave Chappelle.
Slightly reversed narrative, but still
either
kind of the
way, I
same
mean-
thing. Danny, okay. Megyn Kelly got fired for this, so hopefully this works. I'll skip you for a minute, Danny, on this one.
Never mind, Danny's out.
We'll save you from this one as the
Appreciate it.
congressional run here. All right, so this will be the Dear America crew arguing this one out. Am I the only one that doesn't care?
If it's for
in
comedy-
regards of comedy
If
and,
it's
and
for
on
comedy,
TV?
I don't care because also are you
There
gonna-
it is. Look, he's got it, Gene Wilder, right now.
Oh,
on the
there
thing.
it is. But if you're going to do that, it's only a matter of time before White Chicks is deemed inappropriate.
Yeah, Marlon.
It's only
and
a matter
Damon
of
Wayans.
time before we
no,
can't.
Marlon and
I don't know who it was.
Marlon, and what's the other brother's name?
Damon.
Damon.
Damon
That's
Wayans.
right.
Damon
Damon
Wayans.
Damon
Yeah.
Wayans.
I thought Damon Wayans was.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, we're in trouble now.
Ooh.
No, I thought Damon Wayans was Marlon Sean Wayans. Damon Wayans was the drill sergeant guy.
Yeah,
Major Payne.
Oh, Major Payne.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
Major Payne.
I saved us. I saved
Good
our
job.
street cred, people.
But-
Okay, I know Major Payne.
Okay, but go back. to
People
the-
are freaking out right there.
They-
You idiots!
But if that's the case, then it's going to be a matter of time for we can't impersonate older people because
Yeah.
that's going to be wrong. And I mean, it's just if it's comedy for comedy's sake,
Well, people
Is
would
it?
argue it's too bad Jimmy Fallon's not the governor of Virginia at this point. Then it would be no big deal.
Right. You remember when Chappelle had Chuck Dobson and he put
Oh,
like
yeah.
the-
yeah.
that was one of the
The
funniest
racial draft and all this stuff. Yeah.
It was one of the funniest moments of
And
the
I wasn't
Chappelle
upset
show.
over it.
Oh, I laughed my butt
Graham,
off.
I'll be brave and jump in anyway,
Uh-oh.
even though I'm running for Congress.
Oh, here we go.
Think about this for a second. We are so blessed as a country that something so insignificant, it does not pass the common sense test, becomes such big news. So we are so
Right.
lucky as a nation
So true.
that we have to nitpick things that are just so silly.
Yeah.
Everything else is going pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Proud to be American.
Think about Kathy Griffin too. Like she's able to do and say that kind of stuff without truly fearing for her life.
Repercussions.
You know, people in China disappeared because they spray painted Pooh Bear on walls because it was like resembling the leader of communist China.
Whoa.
They disappeared just because they did Pooh Bear. It's like, yeah,
Interesting.
take a head of
Gulag time.
take a head of the president of China, the
Uh,
leader of China, and see how long you last.
All I know is, man, that there's not a single thing that we aren't offended by
Agreed.
anymore.
Yeah.
It is crazy to me. So, all right, let's end this thing out here. Danny, really quick, we would be remiss not to talk about your congressional run down in Georgia. I think it goes without saying that we need more people like you that are fighters. Where can people go to support Danny Merritt in your congressional run? Where can they go?
So the best place to go to meritforcongress.com. Any support would be amazing. Go to our Merit for Congress Facebook page. Remember, I'm going to represent the entire east coast of Georgia, the entire coastline. So for all your listeners who live, from Savannah coastline all the way down
Georgia
to
guys
Florida,
and gals.
make sure to tell your friends to vote for Merit for Congress. I'm going up against a complete swamp creature, and it's time for some change.
All right, Jake, Alyssa, do you have anything? Because while you talk, I want to open up to some questions. If any of you guys have any questions for us, now is your time to comment them, and we're going to try to answer some right here live.
Yeah.
I got things. You
Yeah.
got things?
So the two astronauts just climbed into the shuttle.
So exciting.
We got like
Oh,
2.5
yeah,
hours.
excited.
yeah, we're fixing to go to the
space.
space station. Yeah.
Trump has allowed private businesses to help space exploration. We've always used NASA, and that's kind of held us back a lot of times. So I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, and I think if this is a
Yeah,
successful
they drove
launch,
it in his car. I saw.
Yeah.
Little Tesla.
I mean, this is huge. Definitely.
Oh, that's it. Oh, you're watching the TV.
Oh no, I have stuff.
Oh, okay, go.
So I thought it was interesting that it said Bloomberg aide slammed for using photo from another day to claim Trump golfed on Memorial Day. And he got slammed because of it. They put two pictures up, and one of them you saw what Biden was doing, and then the other one they showed Trump golfing, which was not true at all. And luckily they called him out on it and caught him. But again, it just shows to that false narrative that keeps being pushed out to everyone, which Facebook and Twitter push it for them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Our memories are so short. Like the news cycle, we forget about things that happened just a couple weeks ago.
or forget that people can tweak it.
Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
just said, "How dare you guys forget about Robert Downey Jr. and Tropic Thunder?"
I'm so
Of
sorry.
course.
So
oh
sorry,
yeah,
guys.
that's
You're
true.
right.
Yeah.
Dude, I
So
think that's
sorry.
one of the funniest performances ever. When he looks out,
you mean, you people?
What you mean, you people? I'm the dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Can you imagine if people got upset that we were like imitating Robert Downey Jr.? It's like, why are you doing the voice?
They probably will.
How
Everyone
dare
gets
you
upset
imitate a
over
man
everything.
imitating a black man?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Let's see here. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read as we're going
sorry.
here. Just a lot of people talking about how dare we forget about Robert Downey Jr.
I'm so
A lot of
sorry.
people upset about that. Okay. Really quick, just reminding you guys, since we're live, that my book is still available for pre-order. You can go to America316.com and get my books.
And you get a signed copy.
You get a signed copy. You can set it on fire. You can read it.
No, don't set it on
I don't
fire.
know. Whatever you guys want to do.
It's such a nice website.
Did you-
People are saying I'm a dude playing a dude
disguised as another
Did
dude.
you see Whoopi Goldberg suggested on The View Tuesday that President Trump was making an arrogant demand of God when he told states to reopen their churches?
What?
Wow.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
The View is a great show.
God.
He's also demanding that churches reopen. Personally, I think it's a lot of hubris to demand of God that he opens his house. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joy Behar is another one that's just said things on the line of like, is that legal to say about a president?
Well, they're A-list, so yes, it's legal.
Okay, hold on. Wait. We got to stop everything. This is one of the greatest questions I've heard.
Oh, yay.
It says, all right, people, serious question.
Uh-oh.
If it's not okay for someone to dress up in blackface, why is it okay for a man to dress like a woman or a woman to dress like a man?
Well, that goes back to white chicks.
Dang.
That's a round of applause question
Wow,
right there.
What a question, man.
But see, that's when you get
Comment below. Let us know y'all's thoughts on that.
Yeah.
well, that's when you get to where people start tripping over themselves because everything's offensive. And
Right.
you get into that almost spider web
Yeah.
of things just starting to unravel because
Yep.
now we can just nitpick everything.
For me, it goes into the purpose of I don't care what you do. Honestly, I
Right.
mean, I don't agree with it.
Back to the freedom
per se,
conversation.
but it's
we were
back to
having.
the freedom conversation. Hey, man, you want to be a girl or you want to be a
You're not stepping on my rights.
dude,
And there's
whatever.
a difference between comedic sketches and then doing something calling for violence or being extremely racist. There is a
Right.
difference.
Like saying put a syringe of air. Yeah.
In your
Well, yeah,
face.
and
Yeah.
in your face. Air yourself in your face. All right, somebody was talking about Obama golfed 7 or 8 times during Memorial Day, and they're talking about Trump. Like you said, a picture of Trump golfing during Memorial Day weekend and all that other kind of stuff. I don't think there's any comparison between the differences of the Obama administration and the Trump administration as far as his support of the military.
Yeah.
Now, Danny, you're still in.
I am.
I got out. I ETS'd out 1 December 2016, so like 3 weeks after Trump won the election. So I haven't been in a military, a Trump-run military. What's it like? What's the difference?
I can tell you that this it's nice to have a commander in chief that has, is pretty bold.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a commander in chief that if he draws a red line in the sand, you better believe, we're going to drop some bombs on you if you cross that line.
Right.
So it's really nice to kind of have that that type of commander in chief. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about as much as I can say about that. But it really is nice, and I think from all my other folks, my buddies who are active duty, they're proud.
They're pleased.
They're proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Everyone I talk to says the same thing.
The thing about the golfing is like, who cares?
Who cares,
Like
man?
he's the president. And same with Obama.
Is he not allowed to relax ever?
Right, I think
at
it's
any
probably-
point in time ever.
Probably healthy for him to get out of that place.
Most of
and
you are
go-
probably on a boat or
gonna
something,
say, we
like
went
looking
voting
through
on
Twitter,
Memorial Day,
like
so-
Yeah.
pissed off that you see the president. God forbid being
Yeah.
a normal person.
A lot of business gets done on the golf course.
I
That's
fear
true.
the
a lot
day-
of business gets
sure.
done.
Sure.
I fear the day that someone gets a picture of Trump drinking something like an alcoholic beverage, and
He doesn't-
everybody like Trump is doing this.
I'd be shocked because he doesn't even drink.
well, but
Never had one.
Yeah.
Really, he's never
Never
drank?
had a drink.
He
He's
doesn't
never
drink.
had a
I know
cigarette.
that.
He's
Yeah.
never done
Really?
drugs.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Because he lost his brother. He lost his brother to alcoholism. So
Yep.
See there?
Wow.
You're always learning. I did not know
I didn't know that either.
All right, well then,
boom. Do I get a free book now?
You do.
Nope.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
sure.
Okay,
Why
yeah.
not? Okay, well then, okay,
he
my
talks
point's completely ruined at that point.
He talks about that a little bit in The Art of the Deal, too. When he'd take customers out, he'd have to take them home because he wasn't drinking. And
Yeah.
That's a great read, by the way. Especially if you don't like Trump, read The Art of the Deal. It might change your mind a little bit.
All right. Well, guys, I think that is the end to this first episode of Dear America.
We did it.
Live.
Nailed it.
I think that this has gone very well. Comment below. Let us know some things you want us to add. This is the inaugural episode, and after a brief Facebook malfunction,
Facebook was trying to silence
I
It was
think
Facebook's
I
fault.
think that it turned out all right. God bless you guys. Thanks so much for all your
Yeah.
support. We're super excited about Dear America Live. Eventually, we're going to take this places and do things like live on Facebook and live with audience. Ooh, we should do that.
That should be live.
Live squared.
Yeah, I like
Dear
that.
America
Live
Live.
squared.
Live
All right.
squared.
Anyway, make sure check out Liberty University. Click the link in the caption above. Hit the share button. Danny, where can they go to support you in your congressional run?
Go to meritforcongress.com, MERRITT for congress.com. Check us out on Facebook. And again, thank you so much, Graham, for having me here today.
Yeah, man, it
Thanks
was
for
a
coming
lot of
on,
fun. Alyssa, where can they find you?
Alyssa Allen on Instagram and Alyssa Allen Official on Facebook. And Hey America comes out on Tuesdays.
Jake?
Instagram at producer_Jake.
And of course, I'm Graham Allen. If you don't know that, you must be really confused because you are watching Dear America Live and you're on my page.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. We can't wait to bring you this again. Same time next week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys. God bless you. We'll see you again next time.
Bye.
See ya. Pretty well.
Are we done?